You should do that.
And we'll just fill for a minute. And then Shira said, I was almost a magic judge, but I had a really bad judge at my LGS who ruined all the fun. Yeah,
Mm.
Dang.
that that's one of those things that sucks that can happen. Freaking magic judges.
Uh,
Thomas at Mike's birthday thing reminded me of Stinky Judge. I was like, ah,
poor guy.
because the picture where three of our cartoon heads came from was in one of the little booklets there of pictures that were being passed around.
Oh, the the photo album that only had like literally 4 pictures in it.
Yeah.
I found out later that those were supposed to go in some like uh, table settings that Ashley had ordered and got like delivered to her parents' house like over a day late. They ended up showing on the doorstep like 15 minutes after they had left to to come out there just because they were going
Whoops.
to be otherwise. Yeah. So it was like those and like special like 40th birthday themed plates and napkins and stuff. So they had to make like some last minute like because the stuff they ordered on Amazon didn't show up in time.
I mean, that's okay. It was Olive Garden. There were plates and napkins and stuff there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough time filling. Let's go. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Manapool. This is episode 703. Is that right? Well,
Sounds
yeah.
right.
I literally just added one to the number that was there before, but for some reason my brain is rejecting that. But my brain is an idiot. So, hello, I'm Chewy, and I have an idiot brain.
Hi, Chewy.
Hi, Mike. That's Mike. He has an idiot computer.
Yes.
And then
I'm Brian.
there's
I'm
Brian.
Brian. Yeah.
What do you
I'm
have
the
an
lead
idiot?
rambler. Um. Hmm. I'm well. Hmm.
Oh, he's got an
I could.
idiot plumber.
Actually, the plumber looks like they're going to be coming, so that's a good thing.
Looks like. Uh,
But I mean, maybe it's more accurate to say I have an idiot water heater at the moment.
there we go.
There you go.
So here's a quick update that I just got from my friend Amanda. She sent me two pictures of what looks like her apartment being has been ransacked. And underneath it, it says, "So books are heavy. We were in the living room eating, and my bookcase randomly collapsed."
Oh no.
So that's a thing I just became aware of. That's a mess. So everybody, remember, books are heavy, and bookcases don't last forever. At least not, the cheap ones. Like, I'm surprised that the one that I have here that's holding all of these boxes of magic didn't collapse like decades ago.
Yeah. The shelves are visibly bowed, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, but it's been holding up. Like, this is the bookcase that I had in my room when I was a kid. Like, it's lasting forever. And these other two that I got from a random friend of mine several years ago, who weirdly I don't think we're friends anymore. I don't know what her deal was, but she needed to get rid of two bookcases. I was like, dude, I need bookcases. And so her husband brought him over, and her husband's also a nerd, so we ended up hanging out back here with the bookcases in what is now my office, shooting the breeze, and we forgot to close the front door. So like a whole mess of flies got in, and he was good enough to help me swat all the flies before we left. Anyway, so magic. Dirk is not with us because he is he's covering the Olympics, right? Is that where Dirk is? No, that's not where Dirk is. I don't know where Dirk is. Dirk is elsewhere. He might be on a boat. He might be with a goat.
Yeah.
He might be in a plane. He might be tied to the tracks of a train. I wonder if he likes green eggs and ham.
No, that's my daughter.
I don't like eggs, so I'm guessing changing them green would not make them more appealing to me.
You don't like eggs?
How long have we known each other? Yeah, I don't eat eggs unless
Yeah,
they're
but
like
you don't usually stay for breakfast. You're usually gone by then.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah, got to sneak out before Carrie gets up. Well, Carrie knows before Sam gets up.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah, I don't do eggs unless they're in, like, baked goods or French toast.
Mm-hmm.
Places where you can't taste eggs, but eggs of any sort are abhorrent to me. Apparently when I was really little, like a baby, I would eat scrambled eggs for breakfast every morning. And then I guess at some point my taste buds kicked in and I hated them.
Mm-hmm.
And have never they make me gag. Something about eggs is just gross to me. I have eaten scrambled eggs a couple times by drowning them in ketchup, which makes my old man shake his head. And I'm like, I mean, you said I had to eat it. This is the only way I can. So shut up. I think that only happened once. I mean, it's like, look, just try them. You used to eat them all the time. Just try them. And I took a bite. And I was like, Anyway. Look, we had some technical difficulties that actually weren't, well, okay, Mike's technical difficulties are always his fault, but we had some technical difficulties that were not our fault. The card image gallery just would not load for me and would not load for Mike. Brian's looking at it because Brian's a highfalutin lawyer and he's got fiber at his house.
But I've switched to Scryfall because it's just easier to look at too.
Yeah. So we're all on Scryfall now. So, I think this is just the Bloomburrow set proper, not any of the other
Yeah, I think so.
stuff. So, if you want to talk about other stuff, tough? Or maybe we can find it. I don't know how Scryfall works. It took me forever to find just Bloomburrow. I went to the advanced search and clicked on Bloomburrow. I was like, it gives it to me in 60 cards per page. This sucks. And I was about to say, let's just do it just chatting. And Mike goes, it's showing it to me in one full screen. What are you doing? I was like, what? So don't go through the advanced search.
I still have the card image gallery up in a separate window if somebody in chat wants us to talk about a particular card and it's not visible in Scryfall. I can be like, aha!
Yeah, but I mean, I'd have to go find it elsewhere.
Yeah, that doesn't help you.
To show the people. Because this is both audio and video. For those of you that don't know, I don't know how you don't know, but we live stream episodes of The Manapool and the Just Chatting episodes on Twitch on Thursday nights. You should come hang out with us. Yeah. So you too can ask questions about nonsense that we're talking about. Like Chifuji goes, is it more texture or flavor? I don't remember at this point. I think it's both. I do know that the smell of deviled eggs at family gatherings, I have to walk away from, or I will gag on air. That's deviled egg flavored. Because eggs are gross. And if you like eggs, you're gross.
I'm gross.
Brian is
Yeah,
gross.
I'm gross.
Mike is also gross. That's okay though. I like stuff that other people don't like, so I'm gross too, just in a different way. But anyway, let's. Oh, I gotta put a 404 on Dirk on this page. Whoop, there we go. So I guess we'll talk about some Bloomburrow stuff. Did we get to talking about any of the talents? That's a fun
No, those are
cycle,
the.
and there's even a few in the commander cards. The
We were
class
actually talking.
enchantments.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember what the hell class enchantments are. So, you guys, please remind me what class enchantments are.
Okay.
so a class.
Uh,
Mike will do it more clearly than I will. So go ahead.
Accurate.
yeah. So they were introduced in the D&D crossover set because, of course, they were. They're enchantments that have levels, and you can level them up, and different abilities become available at different levels. It's just the leveling is just you pay some mana at sorcery speed to advance to the next level, and you get stuff. So the the abilities can be pretty much anything. I mean, there's a wide range of the things they can do. The very first one is an uncommon one. It's called Builder's Talent for 1 and a white. Its basic ability says when it enters, create a 0/4 white wall creature token with Defender. So you build a little wall. To get level 2, just costs 1 white mana. And it says it gains a triggered ability. Whenever one or more non creature, non land permanents you control enter, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So
Huh.
that's cool. You can get level 3 by paying 4 and a white, and it gets a one-time triggered ability. When this class becomes level 3, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And much like some of the what were those the case enchantments from murders at Karlov Manor, um, the ones that don't like sacrifice themselves later. The earlier abilities, the lower level abilities, remain in effect.
Yeah,
So that second ability from level 2 still matters even when you're at level 3.
exactly. Yeah, and you'll see triggered abilities, you'll see static abilities, you'll see triggered abilities that just happen once when it gets to a certain level. You'll see ones that can happen at any time based on some other thing. I don't think there are any that gain an activated ability. That'd probably be weird in terms of readability. Just be
Yeah.
awkward.
Oh,
I, I
yeah.
don't I don't think that they do. I think the only activated abilities they have are the level up. So
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It just strikes me as weird that the classes are enchantments. Like, I don't remember what my reaction to that was in the Forgotten Realms set, but it's a
Yeah,
little
it's
weird.
it's basically you, the player, taking level class.
mhm.
Okay, that makes more sense now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Next to Builder's Talent, we have Caretaker's Talent. This is a rare in white. Costs an additional mana to play. It costs 3 to play. It has the ability right off the bat. Whenever one or more tokens you control enter, and this set is just chock full of tokens as we've seen, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn, but it's very good.
Yeah, thank
For a
goodness.
single, yeah, for a between food tokens, offspring tokens, just the number of rabbit tokens you see in in a game, fish tokens when they're being gifted, all that sort of stuff. Uh, for a single white to move up to level 2, when this class becomes level 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Token, 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 token.
Huh.
Um, which of course, triggers that first ability again. And then for 3 and a white, much more, but for obvious reason why, it's at starting at level 3, you have a token anthem effect. Creature tokens you control get +2, +2.
Hmm.
Which is really good. And
I
hey,
see
look,
why this one's rare. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I like a lot of the talents. I really do.
Like it's not like it's white card draw, a white token clone, and a token anthem. Yeah. Definitely neat.
Yeah, I like it. You want to talk about the other talents? I
Yeah, we
think
might as
I
well.
don't I don't know if there's necessarily two in every class. I guess we'll find out
In every color.
in every color. I said class, didn't I?
Yeah.
So
That
in
wouldn't
blue we
make
have
that wouldn't make
Gossip's
sense.
talent.
Did you
Gossip.
hear what Stacy told Rebecca at the lockers?
Uh, no, because I am above such things.
Oh, are
Except,
you now?
yeah, I was above them on perched on top of the locker, so I could hear. Duh.
Oh, sweet.
So this one's uncommon
Stay.
for 1 and a blue. It starts with whenever a creature you control enters, surveil 1. Wait a minute, which one's surveil?
That's the scry to a graveyard.
Right. So you either put it on top or put it in the graveyard?
Correct.
Okay. There are officially too many of these things now for me to keep track of anymore. And every time I learn a new one, an old one falls out of my brain. So
Yeah, there's
apologies.
lots.
For 1 and a blue to get to level 2, whenever you attack, target attacking creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. Oh, okay. Nice little, not quite 3 or less. Wow, that's better than the old dwarven soldier
The
and
2 or less? Yeah. Yeah.
whatever the, when it finally moved to blue, whatever that one was called.
Mm-hmm.
And then for 3 and a blue, it's level 3 and gets another triggered ability. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may exile it, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Oh, so that'll untap it and get any sort of enters the battlefield effects.
Yeah. And because like one of the major themes of the frogs in green and blue is doing stuff like this set is packed full of enter the battlefield stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The frogs especially have a
Yeah.
ton of like there's even a frog that calls out like when your stuff leaves the battlefield but didn't die, do XY. So yeah. This is really good. It shows a rat, and the rats can take advantage of it too, but the frogs are all over this. Those gossipy frogs, just starting the
All,
rumor mill.
always sitting around going, ribbit, ribbit, bruh.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. There's another one in blue that's rare.
Yeah.
Somebody. Oh, and it's otters. Somebody read that one.
Yeah. It's a very Mike card.
Hey,
All
Mike,
right.
read that one.
Okay, the Storm Chaser's talent only costs a single blue mana. When Storm Chaser's talent enters, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. That's quality for just 1 blue mana.
Yeah, a 1/1 for one that can pump
prowess.
itself. Yeah.
Okay, now it's pricey to level up. So level 2 costs 3 and a blue. When this class becomes level 2, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand.
Okay.
And level 3, quite expensive, 5 and a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess.
Holy crap, that's gonna
Yeah.
get insane.
Yeah. So in mono blue, you can build your own monastery mentor if you have enough
Yeah, it only costs 9. Get right on that.
This is
Sorry,
one
no, it
where,
costs. It costs 8, 9. It
mana.
costs 11.
11. Yeah.
I can math.
but this is definitely one where you want to get to that top level. Some of the others, you're like, you know, I, I want to, but I'm okay with the lower ones. But you really want to get to that top level there for this one, because that repeating effect is just crazy, and the
Yeah.
fact that it makes tokens with prowess.
Hmm. But like, I really like that. Even if you just don't get there, like thinking in limited or something, it's a
Uh huh.
1-1 for one, and later, like you'll almost certainly have 4 mana at some point, and you can get back some sort of removal spell from your graveyard.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good for one card. Never mind the insane level 3. Hmm. All right. So in black, there's at least one.
Hmm.
There are two, and one of them is pretty ridiculous. Uh, and I've seen both in real life when I went to the pre-release and on Arena for because the set's out on Arena now. But this other one's really interesting too. This is Bandit's Talent. It is the uncommon for one and a black. When it enters the battlefield, or when it enters, got to get used to saying that. Uh, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card.
Okay.
Level 2, for a single black, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, they lose 2 life. So it's Megrim-esque.
Rack-esque.
Yeah.
Rack-esque. Thank you.
Did
And then
Oh,
for
there he
level
is.
3, sorry, for level 3, for 3 and a black, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand.
Ooh, that's neat.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah, so it punishes your opponents for uh playing all their cards, and eventually helps you out for having them play all their cards. Hmm. It's not like, you know, super useful, but if you can get one opponent who's run out of cards, which, in a one-on-one that's all you've got. But it is a huge boost if your opponent does, run themselves out of cards, or you help run them out of cards. Then all of a sudden you're like sitting there with a full grip, like,
Yeah, the 2 life can add up really fast.
yeah, especially because the only way out of it without extra card draw is to not play things.
Hmm.
Yeah, Chifuji says if you get 2 out and get them both to level 2, it gets rough for your opponent. Yeah, I bet. Losing 2 life a turn and having no cards is, a pain, but losing 4 life a turn and having no cards, now you're going to die quickly. All right. And then scroll. Scavenger's Talent. Oh, this sounds like a me card. Just, because scavenger. Let's find out. For a single black, whenever one or more creatures you control die, create a food token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Yeah, that could get stupid fast. So it's good that that only triggers once a turn, especially if the apex predator thing is out and everybody's food.
Huh, yeah.
No, wait, you're creating food. Never mind. Ignore that part. My brain flopped it around for some reason. Level 2 for 1 and a black. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target player mills 2 cards. And it's creating food, so that's a permanent you sacrifice. Okay. And then for 2 and a black, for level 3, at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice 3 other non-land permanents, which will trigger level 2 and mill someone for 6.
And probably level 1.
Oh, and probably level 1, yeah. Okay, you may sacrifice 3 other non-land permanents. If you do, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Oh yeah, that's fun.
And not only is that kind of ridiculous, but it immediately triggers the second ability 3 times, which means you're milling for 6.
He did say that, I think.
Yeah, that thing I
Or
said,
did he?
yeah, it totally
Okay.
does do that.
Sorry. I meant, yeah.
And probably the first one too, and get you a food token.
Yes. Unless
Which
you're
Mike
just
said
stacking
that.
3 foods. Yeah. Yeah, this card is great. This
It's got a nice sinister looking squirrel thing on it. It's always good to have a sinister squirrel thing. Let's just scroll past that. Oh, both of our red ones are right here where we can get to them easily. Who's an artist and who's a blacksmith?
I'll do the artisan one.
I can be a blacksmith, sure.
So the artist's talent. This is the rare one for red, for 1 and red. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Red is just getting a lot more of this lately.
Crap.
A lot
What
more
is
ability.
is that rummaging? Is that what that is?
Yeah, discarding first. Yeah, rummage.
Yeah.
Okay. Level 2 costs 2 and a red. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Ooh.
That's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Level 3 also just costs 2 and a red to get to. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead.
Oh, that's hot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why that's the
always-
rare one.
I always think of like pingers or grape shot whenever I see
Mm-hmm.
that much damage plus. You know, anything that like, you know, Tim or Tom, you know, tap to deal 3 damage. Huh? Like pinging is bad enough, but when you start throwing lightning bolts around like it ain't no thing, things get out of hand.
Yeah, and then together with the first ability, pitching anything that isn't a damage spell to try for another one, and they all cost 1 less. You can build up a pretty impressive chain of.
Yeah,
damage.
it gets gross quickly.
Yes.
I like it.
You like the gross thing?
I like the card.
Okay. So next we got Blacksmith's Talent, and this is kind of a build around me card in limited. For a single red, kind of like the blue one that we saw where you get the otter token for a single blue, this one gets you an immediate sort of like, hey, here's a little bonus effect. Um, and just for a single mana. For a single red, when it enters the battlefield, sorry, when it enters, I'm gonna keep beating myself until I do that. Right. Create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword. How creative.
Sword.
With equipped creature gets +1/+1 and equip cost 2. They can't name it Leonid Scimitar because that would be less expensive to equip. For at level 2 for 3 mana, at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control to up to one target creature you control for
Ooh.
free, which not only makes that super cheap, but
Oh, the red white ability.
you got it.
Yeah,
You're
the
targeting
what are they? The
every
mice.
time. Yeah, the
Mm,
mice.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up
It's
on
it's
that.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And then for level 3 for 3 in a red, during your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste.
Okay, that's a bit much for an uncommon.
It is, isn't it?
That's that if you can make it to level 3 in limited, and then you just deserve, your opponent deserves to lose for letting you do that. If you've built around it properly, then yeah,
Yeah.
your opponent's going to have a bad time. Not for very long though.
Yes.
So that's good at
No.
least.
It'll be real quick. It'll be real quick. I've seen this like turn 1 blacksmith's talent, turn 2 uh where is it? I know we're talking about classes, but this is just dumb. Um it's a mouse. Uh Manifold mouse without offspring. Manifold mouse for 1 in a red is a 1/2. It has offspring of 2 generic. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target mouse you control gains your choice of double strike or trample until end of turn.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
turn turn 1 blacksmith's talent, turn 2 manifold mouse, who sounds like a superhero, but trust me, he's a scourge. And then turn 3 level up uh the blacksmith's talent, and just
Mhm.
you don't need much else. You don't.
Oh, it does say beginning of combat. Oh yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Cause then you've got your little 1, 2, 2, 3 with double strike on turn 3. Okay, that's not
Something
that's
like
not
that.
that
Yeah.
great.
No, but you've invested very little and you're off to a very aggressive start.
That is true, and you're gonna, the game's gonna continue. It's not like it's always gonna be the manifold mouse, so
Right.
that you're targeting.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Because then you're playing something bigger. So yeah, those are the two in red. What do we have in green? Dirk, what do we have in green?
Dirk.
Aw.
Oh,
Is he muted? All right, so the hunter's talent in green is the uncommon one. It says when hunters for 1 in a green, when it enters, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Standard archery thing. Okay, that's really good for 2 mana too. Just hey, kill that thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's the sound my bow makes. Uh, don't question it. For 1 in a green to get to level 2, it says whenever you attack, target attacking creature gets +1/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. Okay.
Cool.
Again, for a total of 4 mana, you shot a thing and now you're able to give trample every turn. Quality, I like it. And level 3 for 3 in a green. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Draw a card. Hey! Which really means, well, maybe not. I was going to say, which really
Yeah.
means if you have something with power 3 or greater, but it had to attack to do that, so it might not have survived. But still, repeatable card draw in green is always good.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So yeah, that's a nice quality little uncommon. If nothing
Mm.
else, it's a 2 mana kill spell in green. Because it doesn't say fight, it's one-sided fight. It's like shoot.
Right.
So yeah, I like it. What's the other one do?
The rare one for green is Innkeeper's Talent. So this also costs 1 and a green. First ability is at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
All right.
Yeah.
You have my attention.
Yeah, it just costs a single green mana to get to level 2. Permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1.
Okay.
Which can
this is
matter a
silly.
lot. Yeah. And then getting to level 3 costs 4 mana, costs 3 and a green. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead.
Oh, it's half a doubling season.
Yes, half a doubling season. So
Huh.
it costs quite a bit of mana to get to, but it can, I mean, not as much as some of the other classes we've seen. But it can lead to some pretty silly things.
Yeah, and again, like just the first 2 levels are great.
Mm-hmm.
And level 3 is just getting up there into ridiculous territory. That's how I'm thinking of these in case you haven't noticed is you're not always going to get all the way there. So is it worth playing this if you don't? And for a bunch of them, the answer to that is yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
The level 3 leads to very silly things with planeswalkers, kind of like doubling season did. But then I just realized that level 2, since it's level 2, your planeswalkers just have Ward 1. They just have it.
Oh my god, it does say permanence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good old doubling season. Been a while.
And for those of you who are new here, no loyalty counter, adding loyalty counters via the planeswalker abilities don't count.
Well, for doubling season.
Yeah, for doubling season. That's for when they enter the battlefield. That's when this will double the number of counters on them.
Well, Innkeeper's Talent, with the way it's written, will also affect paying the cost of plus abilities.
Really?
Because you're placing the counters, yeah.
Because let me get Gatherer open to read the Oracle text of doubling season. Because if I remember correctly, doubling season is about effects.
Oh, you're right. That's why it doesn't work for adding loyalty counters to pay the cost. Is because it's. I'm pretty sure it specifies effects. You want someone with a decent internet connection and computer to look that up for you?
I'm finding it. I have it right here. Yeah. So the relevant part of doubling season says if an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, blah blah blah. But that's not what. And the reason that doesn't work with plus abilities on planeswalkers is because you're paying a cost. That isn't an effect. You're paying a cost. But with the way Innkeeper's Talent is written, if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, it does affect paying the cost for plus abilities on planeswalkers. So you get twice as much.
That is ridiculous. is that does it specify that in the whatever the thing they put out with that explains cards?
The
Um, the ruling
It used to
notes,
be
I
the
haven't.
set FAQ. I don't know what they call it now. What was that, Mike?
Is it just called the rulings notes? I haven't read the notes for this set yet.
Oh, okay. And I
But I'm confident that is the way it works.
oh, on Scryfall they have the rulings notes underneath. Well, let's click on it. Uh,
Nothing.
yeah, I got nothing here, y'all.
Maybe they haven't been issued yet.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw someone talking about it.
Okay.
Oh, for doubling season, I don't know about the new cards yet. Oh, okay. So maybe
Oh, for doubling
Scryfall.
season? Oh yeah, let me click through that. Um doop doop doo.
Doop, doop,
Yeah,
doop.
it's there is a clarification. There is a rulings note on doubling season. Planeswalkers will enter the battlefield with double the normal number of loyalty counters. However, if you activate an ability whose cost has you put loyalty counters on a planeswalker, the number you put on isn't doubled. This is because those counters are put on as a cost, not as an effect. That's for doubling season.
Yeah. Okay.
But Innkeeper's Talent doesn't have that issue.
So will hopefully it's not some sort of weird new rules thing, and what Mike says is true. But you know, don't blame us if they're like, actually, this is how we're doing this now. Jesus, stop that.
That would have to be a pretty weird and convoluted rules change
I mean, have you seen some of
to
the
make
rules changes
to
lately?
make to make that happen with this wording.
So I don't think there are any classes in multicolor in this set.
I don't think
No,
so.
there are some in the commander set, but that would be too much of a pain in the ass for me to pull up. So, uh, I like that they're keeping this this thing going forward. You know, of the class cards, and
Yeah.
not just leaving them in the D&D set. Like they're maintaining the tech.
Yeah. It the they're reminiscent of sagas, obviously, in certain ways. And one of the things that sagas have always been good at doing is conveying the story and the environment with not just the image, but how the abilities tie together. They were introduced in Dominaria and did just an excellent job there. So I'm really glad to see something like that because this I think does a similar job here of just like here's the jobs that these creatures do, and you get a real sense of the world. They're very rockable, I think, if
Yeah.
I'm using that correctly.
Also, does it piss anyone else off that for Twitter's crappy AI they stole the word grok?
They
Isn't it?
did.
Isn't it grok? I think it's grok.
Yeah, yeah, it's grog.
That annoys the piss out of me. But then most things that have happened on Twitter since a certain idiot bought it annoy the piss out of me. So, did you know that apparently cis is a slur rather than
No.
a descriptor?
Is this being brought to us by the same people that think that pronoun using pronouns is bad when, they're
Yeah.
pronouns and we've been using them for forever?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same people who are way too sensitive about. Oh man,
Snowflakes. Yeah. Sorry. Um, so
So,
what are the cards we want to talk about?
well, Chifuji said He's a big. I know Razorback. Sorry, said I'm a big fan of Glarb in multicolor.
Glarb. Okay,
Glarb is a
yeah.
legendary
So
frog wizard noble.
So I went to a pre-release and I opened up my packs and I had a decent amount of coverage in white. I had a couple white rares, some good white stuff, and some decent stuff in green, and then a minor black splash. And then I splashed blue for this guy. So I was in junk colors, or what is that, Abzan? And I splashed red. I splashed blue. I was everything but red, and my only blue card was Glarb. And in the last round, I played somebody whose only black splash was Glarb because
Huh.
Glarb is awesome. I also got the treated version of this card, so
Oh, cool.
good stuff. So Glarb, Calamity's Augur, is the antagonist of this whole thing. He's like, "Hey,
Hold
go
up.
steal me."
Hold up. You're telling me that the bad guy in this set is a frog with pauldrons.
Yes,
Okay.
he's the Frog King, and that's exactly as weird as it sounds.
Thank goodness, because it sounds pretty
He
freaking weird.
he contracted with a mercenary group led by the infamous Cruel Claw, which we'll get to in a bit, um, to steal the egg of a Calamity Beast because he foresaw the Calamity Beast getting to be a problem in the future, and he's like, "What if we raised it?" Kind of like Timon and Pumbaa in The Lion King. What if it was on our
Ah.
side? The only problem is that Mufasa wasn't dead and the owl came looking. So, for a black, a green, and a blue, as we've already discussed, Glarb is a frog wizard noble, 2/4 with death touch. So,
Pooh.
yeah, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
And you
Yeah.
can tap Glarb to surveil too. And there was a little bit of discussion at the pre-release about, well, why is it 4 or greater? And I'm like, because if it was less than 4, it would pop off so hard.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would
Like,
be
He's
play
silly.
land, cast little spell, play land. Oh wait, I guess you
I
can
have
only. I guess you can only
Yeah.
play the one.
One land a turn.
I have been having a decent amount of success on Arena with a standard deck that's I basically made a jank Legends deck that I thought would be jank, but I included the so and so joins up cards from Outlaws, and it actually works really well, and it got me to Mythic last season. And part of that is I also run the case of the hot house murder or something,
Hmm.
which lets you drop extra land every turn, and once it's solved, you can play lands and cast spells from the top of your library, and you can play any spells. It doesn't have this restriction, and it's insane. I get it to go off, and the next turn I untap, and it's not unusual to play like 6 spells. So
Buh.
yeah, this is an important distinction.
Yeah, Glarb seems pretty great.
Yeah,
I
I
see
like it.
why you splashed blue for just Glarb.
Had it not been a pre-release, I probably would not have because I had other cards. But I'm like, this just seems like fun,
Yeah. I
and it
love the
was.
re-releases.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. All right, so below that is the infamous Cruel Claw.
Yeah, what does this weasel do?
I don't know. He's a weasel mercenary though, so that's probably not a good sign. So the infamous Cruel Claw is a legendary weasel mercenary for 1 a black and a red. For 3 mana, it's a 3/3 with menace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, does that make me old? Because that's like normal these days, especially on a mythic. But like, my brain sees that and goes, "Damn!"
Oh no, I'm right there with you.
So we're
You
all
are
old here.
correct. Yes, how are you?
But we're not done. It says whenever the infamous Cruel Claw deals combat damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. All right, yeah, the infamous Cruel Claw is kind of sick. Wow. I got nothing. That's just good.
Yeah. It's really good. I also have nothing because you literally just play it and then do what it says.
Yeah, then you attack and then you play things that you can't afford.
You know what card is a little less straightforward and has 3 times as many words on it is the card that we should let Mike talk about because Mike likes words.
Uh
Okay.
Shifuji just said the meme deck is Cruel Claw, 98 lands, and a World Fire.
Somebody posted that online, and even the person that posted it said it's not really supposed to win because people are like, well, wait, how do you deal the last? And the author's like, that's the
You're
joke,
overthinking it, bro.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what card has so many words that Mike should read?
Helga.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Let's see here. What does this say? Helga, skittish seer, um, is a Bant colored frog druid, and it just costs 3, a green, a white, and a blue for a 1/3. And Helga is legendary and mythic. So, 2 abilities here. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card, gain 1 life, and put a +1/+1 counter on Helga Skittish Seer. Okay,
Okay.
so tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is Helga Skittish Seer's power. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana costs.
Ooh, she's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got
It is really good. I
I got
just
I got
wanted
nothing.
Mike to read it because it's so many words. So that was the whole reason.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I guess we should probably while we're on this row, we should probably read Hugs too.
Hugs.
Hugs.
So, yeah. So Hugs, Grizzly Guardian. This is an interesting card because of its mana cost and the way that it works. Um, Hugs for 2 red, 2 green, and X generic is a 5/5. And here's a little hint: Hugs will be a 5/5 no matter what X is. So don't sweat that. Uh, 5/5 with Badger Warrior with Trample, Mythic. When Hugs enters, exile the top X cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards,
Oh,
and you may play an additional land on each of your turns.
huh.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
So wait, Hugs is a 4 mana 5/5 with trample that's got an exploration attached.
yes.
Yes.
And then extra mana is just, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get more cards.
Huh. Okay.
Hugs plus uh plus Glarb. That's only 4 colors. Lets you play an additional land every turn. Combo.
I mean, that's a
Three
hell of a
green,
combo. I'm not.
2 red,
I'm not gonna
a
lie.
black, and a blue. Yeah. So, while we're talking about legendary characters, legendary cards, legendary creatures, whatever you want to call them, if Glarb is the antagonist, um, I think it's Helga. Helga may be the frog person that kind of foresees the coming of calamity and runs off to get help. Then Mabel is kind of the central protagonist to a certain extent.
Of course, because the red wall set has to have the mice as the, or a mouse as the main hero. Duh.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But truth be told, she'd rather be at home with her kids. So it's kind of an interesting take on it. What'd she do?
So Mabel, heir to Cragflame. I'm gonna guess Mabel is the mouse that was in that very first art that we saw of a little mouse with a flaming sword. I think staring up at a demon dog, a demon wolf looking thing.
Probably.
So for one, a red and a white, Mabel is a legendary mouse soldier who's rare. A 3/3. Other mice you control get +1/+1. Mouse Lord. And when Mabel enters, create Cragflame. Ah, there it is. I was like, I don't remember seeing an equipment called Cragflame. Oh, because Mabel's got it. Cragflame is a legendary colorless equipment artifact token with equip 2, and equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance, trample, and haste. Oh. Okay,
Cragflame
Mabel.
isn't Cragflame isn't quite like a Loxodon Warhammer, but has a
It's very
lot of
close.
stuff going on for what it costs. Has a lot going on.
Yeah, like you throw it on Mabel, and Mabel becomes a 4/4 vigilance, trample, haste doesn't matter anymore at that point. So, assuming
Well,
you play her, and then next turn you equip her.
mm-hmm.
Now I'm just chanting in my head, Mabel, Mabel, if you're able, kill Chewie. No, kill AJ. And of course, separate and apart from bringing Cragflame to the table, she's also the Mouse Lord. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah, Mabel's just chilling at home. It's her birthday and everybody's getting ready to throw a party. She's got like 2 or 3 kids, or maybe more. I'm not sure. And the mayor stops by. He's like, "Hey, so can we see Cragflame? Because everybody loves Cragflame." And she's like, "No, go away." And then Helga shows up and is like, "My village was attacked." And so she's like, "Fine, I'll go get Cragflame. Let's go kill a thing." So I like her.
Nice. Chifu just said that was a different mouse that was featured in the animated trailer. Oh, I didn't watch the animated trailer. I just meant that original like still image that they showed, like a year and a half ago.
And I think Chewie is correct. I know which one he's referencing. In the animated, the mouse does pass Mabel on the road.
That art is for the card Repel Calamity in white. Oh, okay, hang on. Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah, yeah, that art right there. Oh, it's not a flaming sword, it's a flaming wolf. Buh. I
Fire
knew
in there
something was
somewhere.
flaming.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Puppy. Okay, where were we, Mabel? Right. What, chat, what else you want us to talk about? Or dorks, what else you want to talk about? Oh, I just
Let's
found a legendary
see.
bat. So I'm gonna read that real quick
Okay.
because it's a legendary bat, and that's not a thing you see. Zoraline, Cosmos Scholar. Okay. For one, a black and a white is a legendary rare bat cleric. It's a 3/3 with flying and vigilance for 3 mana. Again, this is getting ridiculous. I guess maybe they want creatures because there's so much food and whatnot. They want creatures to be kind of, you know, aggressive, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of food, you have to have that so the game doesn't get horribly bogged down.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
Throne of Eldraine had a little problem with that in limited.
Yeah. It's okay. 3/3 flying vigilance for 3. Whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. Hey! And whenever Zoraline enters or attacks, excuse me, you may pay a black and a white and 2 life. But since she's attacking, you're really only losing 1 life. Because
Mhm.
you gain a life and you could pay, and then you pay 2, or vice versa, whatever. Okay. When you do, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Whoo! Okay. Huh. I'm glad I read Zoraline. That's really cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't say creature. It says non-land permanent. So you can think pretty big for the interactions you can get with this.
Yeah, like I'll happily bring back a planeswalker to and immediately use a well, not immediately, but once the attack is done, use a planeswalker ability.
Yeah, or even something like I don't remember whether I don't think this is in the set, or even something like a dead weight. Like that's a pretty cool interaction.
Yeah, Deadweight I don't think is in the set, but something like that would be really awesome. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me what deadweight does.
I
That's
think for
the
a black.
yeah, that's the aura that gives the enchanted creature -2/-2.
Oh
For,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
that is neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I read Zoraline. Zoraline's neat.
Yeah, Zoraline is pretty neat.
Plus, I'm pretty sure this is the bat that I put my head on in the thumbnail for the last episode.
It does kind of
I
look
put
like
Mike
you,
on the
yeah.
badger. I put Brian on the mouse. I put Dirk on the frog, and I was like, I'll put me on this goofy looking bat in the sky. I'm pretty sure that goofy looking bat was Zoraline.
Sounds about right.
But all right, so what else?
It's not terribly exciting, but I will talk about a card real quick that's very close to this, in the way that these are ordered. That was very, very good for limited. Lots of people were playing it. It's an artifact. It's the Patchwork Banner, and this does work. Patchwork Banner for
Oh my
3
god.
mana, artifact, uncommon. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, which is already good, and you can tap it for a mana of any color. This does
Yeah,
everything you want.
That's a
that's
lot.
that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, this is no joke.
And
For
it's
an
an
uncommon, this is
uncommon. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
A mana rock that is a
Anthem, well,
I was trying to
I
think of
don't
the
know.
card that says choose a creature type. Your creatures get +1/+1. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I don't remember either. Gosh, that was one of the, something back from Onslaught or whatever.
I think so, yeah. But
I
still,
just
like on an uncommon, that's whew. Magic is not the same game it used to be.
no.
There aren't that many artifacts in a set that really would like a lot of equipment.
No. I like the image of the Stars Forged sword. It's kind of hilarious.
You know, in my head, just glancing, around it, I hadn't actually looked at it because of the scarf there. I thought that was an angel in the background, but it can't be an angel because we're in Bloomburrow.
Yeah.
So now I see that it's a blue jay with a scarf trying to pick up this giant sword made that looks like it's made out of a meteor,
Trying. Yeah.
and that's pretty funny. Oh, and you can gift a tapped fish. All right. Somebody read the card, because it's silly.
I just read a card, so have at it.
All right. Starforged Sword.
Oh, I meant Mike, but yeah, you're good too.
He's too slow. For 4 mana, is an equipment. It equips for 3. It has gift a tapped fish. So if you promise your opponent a gift, they'll get a 1/1 blue fish that's tapped. When it enters, if the gift was promised, attach Starforged Sword to target creature you control, which is nice. An equipped creature gets +3/+3 and loses flying because it's very heavy. Ah, that's adorable. It's not even a sword, it's a bludgeon.
Yeah.
Buh. Let's see.
If you, I like that, the creature loses flying just for, thematically what's going on. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
But I also want to ask what's up with the art in Tangled Tumbler, because when I was looking at it, I didn't see the raccoon faces until I looked much closer.
Art. Oh, it's a vehicle.
It's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of tangled up roots that the raccoons have turned into a vehicle.
Yeah, it's great.
Are they rolling it?
It's like Katamari Dynasty, maybe.
I mean, that was close enough, yeah. He got one of the made up words, but he didn't get the other made up word. So we'll allow it because it's Brian.
This is interesting. It's a vehicle that doesn't actually have a crew ability. So Tangled Tumbler is ability. It costs 3. It's an artifact. Its power and toughness box says 6/6. It has vigilance. It has another abilities. Pay 3 and tap. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And this is how you wake it up. Tap 2 untapped tokens you control. Tangled Tumbler becomes an artifact creature until end of turn.
It did not even occur to me that it didn't have crew.
No.
Because it kind of does. It's just not exactly the same. And you can't use anything other than tokens.
Yeah, but they don't have to be creatures. Like, you can tap 2 food to crank this thing up.
That's right.
You absolutely can and probably will.
And it has vigilance, so you could be swinging for 7.
Yeah, that's true. So you just stick a couple of corn dogs in the Tangled Tumbler and
sprinkle let's see, get a box of popcorn and some fruit stripe gum and
yeah.
Is gum food? I don't know if gum counts as food. Especially not fruit stripe gum.
I can't remember what the R&D pit's debate about that ended as.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you were referencing. Okay, so Mark Rosewater had a story about the development of Unstable, where there was this big debate in the pit and for R&D about whether gum was food, because it the fat ass got a bonus as long as you were eating something.
Huh.
The card, yeah. For a second, I was like, the fat ass. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think I might still have an image saved of the photo he took of a whiteboard that had a bunch of stuff written on it for the argument. Let me see if it's on this. It's saved on this laptop.
That's pretty funny. And now that you've recounted that, I do remember it. But no, I was not referencing that at all. I was just asking a straight question. Huh. So, while Mike digs around, chat, what else you want us to talk about? Wasn't there some sort of Oh,
Yes,
it was probably a commander card. Wasn't there some sort of rabbit mother or something that was?
probably. There's a group hug deck that I think Mrs. Bumbleburrow or something is the commander of.
Oh yeah. Did we talk about Balin the Haymaker? Because I hate the name.
Balin the Haymaker. What color is that in?
Gold.
Oh, geez, I just got
Oh,
that. What the heck?
Yeah, Baling Hay, Balin the Haymaker. Like,
Uh,
boo.
no, we did not talk about this card.
Oh. Well, Mike's busy. Hey, Brian, tell us about Balin the Haymaker with its
Balin the
Naya ass.
Haymaker. Yeah, a red, a green, and a white for a 4/3 Rabbit Warrior, rare legendary. Has three activated abilities. First one, tap two untapped tokens you control. Add one mana of any color. Again, can
That
be creature
that's cool.
tokens, but can also be food.
Or
I honestly
treasure,
like that a lot.
or
Yeah, or yep. Second ability, tap three untapped tokens you control. Draw a card.
ooh,
Like that a lot. And then tap four untapped tokens you control. Put three +1/+1 counters on Balin the Haymaker. It gains trample until end of turn.
I would like to point out to the court that it starts as a 4/3.
Yeah, I think have we already said that Magic has changed since we started?
Like a 7/6 with trample that can draw you cards later. That's I mean, 4 tokens is not super easy. But then again, in this set, and it's a rabbit, 4 tokens isn't super hard either. Chifuji points out that if they're creature tokens, they can have summoning sickness. That's true because it's not a tap ability on the creature itself. It's part of Balin's uh, activation cost. So yeah.
Yeah.
Buh. Okay, I don't like the name, but I do like the card. The name can go to hell though. Oh, here's a rabbit archer. A legendary rabbit archer.
Oh yeah, Phineas. He joins Mabel's party.
Of course, they form a party.
Well, yeah. What else are you gonna do? They have to grind for a while. Go like hunting the slime cave.
Oh yeah.
For a green and a white, a Phineas Ace Archer. I almost said H Archer.
Phineas H. Archer
Um,
at your service.
yes, there. That's what I was thinking of. For 2 mana is a 2/2 with vigilance and reach. Whenever Phineas attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control that's a token or a rabbit. Then, if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater, draw a card.
Damn, Phineas!
Seems kind of ridiculous.
Huh.
Can't find a Isgum food image on my laptop. That's sad.
I sort of figured you were still looking, but I was just gonna give it another few minutes. So let's see if I do a search for is gum food. Whiteboard. Nope. None of this is the Rosewater image. That's too bad. Okay, wait. Is gum food Rosewater? Whoa, no. Rosewater, no. I got a bunch of Rosewater flavored things. Oh well.
Oh well.
Who
Oh,
knows
well.
if that article even still exists on the Magic website, since they don't seem to care about archiving their past.
I'm pretty sure that article was from that span of time that was like completely lost at that point.
Well, that's too bad. All right, Razorback likes Fountain Port in the Lands. Hey, Mike, why don't you read Fountain Port in the Lands?
All right, let's see what we got here.
There it is.
So, Fountain Port is a rare land, no types or nothing. You can tap it for 1 colorless mana, and it has several activated abilities. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice a token, draw a card. Pay 3, tap, pay 1 life, create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. Pay 4 and tap, create a treasure token.
That's a very strange jack of all trades, kind of bad at all of them.
Yeah.
Which, for a land.
Day,
Do what?
yeah. I said back in the day, this would have been a pretty solid card for one of the super slow style control decks. Just being able to, slowly make your little fishies.
Pish. But yeah, that is. It reminds me of what land does it remind me of? Is land? No. What does it remind me of?
It's a little reminiscent of Trading Post.
Trading Post. That's it.
Because you don't have that circular relationship between the abilities, but it's in that vein.
Yeah. Oh, and Razorback said I'm one of the few people that still likes to play Trading Post, even though I know it's not good.
It was only pretty recently that I finally took Trading Post out of the commander decks that it was still in. It's like
out of the what?
Out of the commander decks that it was still in.
Ah.
Just like, it's time.
Boo. What else we got here? 3 Tree City is another rare land. As it enters, choose a creature type. Tap to add a colorless. It's legendary. 2 and tap, choose a color. Add an amount of mana of that color equal to the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. That's cool.
It's cool. I like it.
You really have to be over, 3 creatures of that type to start to go more than break even?
So it takes a bit of work. But,
But if you're playing, certain creature types that are prolific.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the creature type of Saproling?
That's the creature type, Sapperling.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because I know that's the name of the token, but I couldn't remember if that's its type or not.
Yeah, that's one of those where the name is the same as the type.
Oh, Chifuji said 3 Tree City and its 4 seasonal variants are the current chase card of the main set. Really?
That's cool.
Would not have expected that. Alright. Oh, and here's the other rare land, Fabled Passage. Which... Tap and sack, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Then if you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. I was like, why is this rare? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a reprint.
It is?
It is.
From Eldraine.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought it came from a core set.
2021.
I think they reprinted it in 2021. It was originally from Eldraine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a card I want to talk about, and it's not a land. So, are there any other land? It is. I saw this when we were covering one of the talents earlier, and I was like, bleh! I hadn't seen this card before. It's in blue. It's called Sugarcoat, and you need to see this card. For 2 and a blue, it's no enchantment aura. It's uncommon. Flash, enchant creature, or food. You could enchant a food. Enchanted permanent is a colorless food artifact with pay 2, tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life, and loses all other card types and abilities. And the flavor text. Some jokes have the punchline baked in. Like, they knew exactly what they were doing. They were just like...
Boo!
Boo, nothing.
So what is that a rat? Yeah.
It's a rabbit.
Look, do what?
Oh, a rat casting the spell.
Yeah, it looks like a rat has cast a spell to turn a poor hapless rabbit into a cookie.
A cookie. It's great.
Man, for 3 mana, and flash, turn something into a food. Oh, this works well with that the bat, because it's a permanent that does things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and here's something that oh well, thanks to Fuji for spoiling it in the chat. Well, I'm going to say it for all the people who can't see the chat. This is something that I had to have pointed out to me because I couldn't get it on my own at first. The reason it says enchant creature or food is because it needs the food part to stay attached to whatever you put it on, since it also removes other types.
Yeah, so if it just said enchant creature, then you would enchant creature, it would stop being a creature, and the rules would go, no! And it would fall off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was sitting here thinking, why would you enchant food to be food? It's a rules loophole. Okay, got it. That it's closing out.
Yeah. But hey, I also find it kind of hilarious. There are some actually really good foods in this set. I know I just talked about that one. One other one I want to talk about from the pre-release that everyone played, if you were in green, and a lot of people play green. This is a food artifact in green, and it is the Heaped Harvest. Yeah. You've seen this one?
No, but I scrolled down to green and spotted it and read through it real quick and went, oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For 2 and a green.
I just talked about candy.
For 2 and a green, it's a common artifact food that has the food ability.
Jeez. Yeah.
And it says, when Heaped Harvest enters, and when you sacrifice it, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. That is gross.
The
This
fact that it doesn't put it in
card.
hand, this was ridiculous. And you could use it to gain life, but also lots of people were like, yeah, and then I'll use this to forage. Some people, if they were already at
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
if the player was already at 5 mana when they played this, then they could also just play it, and while instead of going through the library again, just sack it and go get 2 lands, put them into play, tapped, and jump up. Last round I played against Ash, and he played one of these, stacked it, used a spell to get it back to his hand from his library, from his graveyard, sorry. Uh, Replayed it, then bounced it back to his hand to replay it. By the next time after he played it, he was out of basic lands.
oh
He
my
had run out
god!
of basic lands.
Love it.
That's awesome.
This thing was everywhere. Just,
Yeah, like I said, I scrolled down to green and happened to spot it and scanned it and went,
yeah. The big difference being that it's not sent to hand.
yeah, that is quality right there. Like this is the sort of thing that had this been printed 10 years ago, this would have been my go-to like green ramp thing to put in like every deck. I would have like 50 copies of this spread across all the decks I had with green in them. Like Secure a Tri-Builder
Yeah.
Hey,
or Kodama's Reach or what have you. Like, buh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Oh my god, hello.
Hey,
I just
Mikey, I think
look.
he likes it.
I do. I just looked at the art for Wildfire Howl and oh, hello. That's pretty and terrifying. What does it do? For 1 red red, it's a sorcery and you can gift a card. It's uncommon. It deals 2 damage to each creature. Nice. And if the gift was promised, instead, it deals 1 damage to any target and 2 damage to each creature.
yeah, so it's like it's a pyroclasm that can take out 1/3 toughness thing. You gift the card. It's narrow, but it's something.
Yeah, that is literally that, or your opponent's at 1. It's like literally the only reason
Yeah.
I can think to actually, because just an extra damage to face is not worth a card.
No, and the reason it costs 3 is because in a set with so many creature tokens, and especially the offspring stuff, they don't want to make the sweepers too good because then it just makes so many things pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, but it can like was pointed out, bolt 1 thing.
Mm-hmm. Although you want to talk about sweepers,
Sweep.
there's the Wrath effect in white.
Oh, what's that?
It's called Starfall Invocation. Why don't you read it if you haven't seen it before?
Who, me?
Yeah, you,
Oh, okay. For
Mr. Chewy Man.
It's a rare sorcery for 3 white white. Because remember, wraths can't cost 4 anymore unless they're not just wraths. I guess I forget what they said. They were gonna push it up to 5. Gift a card. Okay. Destroy all creatures. Nice. If the gift was promised, return a creature card Oh, return a creature card put into your graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Oh, so you can give them a card to keep one, essentially.
To keep one. Well, essentially, but it also triggers
Yeah.
enters abilities and dies abilities, of which
Yeah.
there are no small amount in this set.
So that's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's rare, so it's going to be a step above some of the others. But yeah,
Nothing lurks in the purity of the moon's light. That sounds like some weird wolf lore there that they say to each other. Silly wolves. Razorback said Coiling Rebirth in black is pretty good. Okay. Coiling. Oh yeah, I've seen this art because it's a couple of crazy snake skeletons. Scuzzo just resubbed for the 71st month. Ooh.
Oh.
Thanks, buddy. So what's it do, Mike?
So Coiling Rebirth. It's pricey, but it's rare. Let's see what happens. It's a sorcery that costs 3 black. You can gift a card. So return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then, if the gift was promised and that creature isn't legendary, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's 1/1. Now that's some. You can create an offspring of it if you gift the card. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Ooh, yeah, that's spicy. I like that. Sorry, for some reason, the first thing that popped into my head is grab like 2 zombie lords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can have a card, and I'll pump my entire board by 2, and then I'll eat your face. The zombies eating people's faces party. I didn't think they ate my face. But they didn't, because I'm the necromancer what raised them. Oh, he said Adam, whoever Adam is, used that on the Rotten Mouth Viper in the PPR, which is disgusting. Hang on, which one was the Rotten Mouth? I forgot. Oh, the one that blights things. Yeah. that is disgusting. You are correct. What? Oh, okay. All right, you guys see the Rotten Mouth Viper?
yeah, we talked about it last time.
Yeah, look 2 cards to the left and see if you can tell what my brain did. It's the site. How do you even pronounce that word?
Whirl?
Whirl.
Oh, is it?
How else would you pronounce
it?
it?
Whirl? I don't know, because
Yeah, whirl.
like the verb whirl is spelled with an I. So I guess the noun whirl is spelled with an O.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's psychic whirl. But just scrolling through and glancing around, my brain saw psychic whore, and I was like, Magic is not the same game that it used to be. But no, it's whirl. The English language is so stupid. Like, how do you change a letter at the end from an L to an E and go from whirl to whore? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You said you shut your whirl mouth. Whirl mouth. That's terrible. Anyway, sorry. It says target opponent discards 2 cards. If you control a rat, surveil 2 for 2 and a black at common. Nice and simple, but it is not what my brain originally saw. Yes, Brian. What were you saying? My bad.
No, you're good. When you're ready to move on, Um, Mike, in
Yes.
black, go to Fell and tell me what you think of Fell.
I just saw that because I happened to scroll up a little bit and.
Um, it's good. So
Uh,
for one in a black, it's an uncommon sorcery, which makes a difference. Destroy target creature.
It is important that it's a sorcery. That is not to be denied. But one in a black for a destroy when we don't really have terror anymore.
No.
yeah, and murder is one black for instant speed.
Yes. And so many, and there's every set nowadays has some kind of murder variant. It feels like.
Some kind of murder variant.
Now I'm just kind of hearing in my head every day I'm murdering.
Every day I'm murdering.
Yep.
Stab, stab. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. First time I saw it, I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I read sorcery, and I'm like, "Yeah, that explains that."
Yeah, that makes it much less.
Mhm.
Let's see here. What
Fir-
else?
First time I saw Wishing Well, I started to read it, and I'm like, "Oh no, coin flipping!" And then I realized, okay, it's not actually coin flipping, but
Aw, boo. So what's that do?
Uh, for three, for three and a blue, Wishing Well is an artifact. It's rare. Tap. Put a coin counter on Wishing Well, which is where my brain went. When you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value equal to the number of coin counters on Wishing Well from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery.
Oh, so every time you tap it, you can cast spells from your graveyard of increasing cost.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
It's one of those things that you see like at the children's museum where you put the quarter in and it goes round and round and round and round,
Yeah.
except it's mystic.
Good job. Hmm. So I'm guessing that Chifuji is typing out a big long explanation that we will talk about once he
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
There's some stuff going on in the Twitch chat here, see, which is why you should come listen to hang out with us live when we do the show, see. Thursday nights, on Thursday nights when we do the show. There's a skunk.
Yeah, it's a skunk assassin.
And it's
Yes,
called
and the
Jesus.
name.
It's called the Downwind Ambusher. All right, now I gotta read it. I just saw Skunk Assassin and went, ha! Okay, so for 3 and a black, it's a 4/2 uncommon creature with flash. That's cool. When it enters, you choose one. Target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay. Or destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Oh, okay. So it's a. I forgot what that second ability's called. It's had
Uh,
several
they,
cards.
they've had, yeah,
Yeah, it's had several cards that have done that over the years. But
destroy the damage thing.
yeah, or it's if that's lacking, then it's just a nice simple -1/-1. Chifuji was not typing an explanation. Oh well. You should still come hang out when we do this live. Ooh. What's in red? Got anything cool in red we didn't talk about? Conduct electricity is a common that is, for 4 and a red, it's a common instant. It deals 6 damage to target creature and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature token. That's
a functional reprint of something.
Is it?
It's so weird and sounds familiar somehow.
Maybe not quite. I don't know if something not in this set would have specified token, but maybe. Lunar Convocation in multiplayer has been seeing some play in standard. Okay, let's go see what that is.
It's in multicolor. I see it.
Yeah,
It's a bat thing.
it is a bat thing.
For a white and a black, it's a rare enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, each opponent loses 1 life.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your end step, if you gained and lost life this turn, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying, and then pay 1 and a black and 2 life to draw a card, which you can do anytime.
So there's how you lose life during your turn. You just need some way to gain some life during your turn, and
which the bats are. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the bats do that, don't they?
Yeah.
So you've got
pretty well.
You've got card draw and token generation and slowly draining your opponent. Yeah, that's neat. It occurs to me, I have no idea what standard looks like these days. Razorback pointed out Cave of Koilos is also in standard. Oh.
Yeah, that's a nice, easy way to lose life.
True. Cave of Koilos is the black-white pain land. For those of you that don't recognize that just from the name. I know that one because it's old.
It is old, like us.
Oh, we've got a legendary trash panda. Hey, somebody read the Hey, Mike, read the trash panda. Muera?
Muera Tactician for 1 a red and a green. It's a 2/4 raccoon warrior who's rare. At the beginning of your first main phase, add red or green for each raccoon you control.
That's silly.
Whenever you expend 4, meaning you've spent your 4th mana of the turn, you gain 3 life. Cool.
Yeah.
Whenever you expend 8, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards.
Okay.
That's cool. And once you get there, those extra 2 cards are going to give you what you need to help keep the chain rolling if you can.
Yeah.
Because presumably, you'll be able to cast them too if you just spent 8 during a single turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love these things that these days that say, blah, 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 exile cards until the end of your next turn.
Yeah. The end of this turn, that's tricky, and sometimes it feels like you're being punished when you can't do it. But by the end of your next turn, feels a lot more forgiving.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it wouldn't work otherwise. I mean, if you spent 8 mana this turn, you're not going to have mana to cast 2 other spells.
No. but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's I don't know why, but I love the flavor of the raccoons in the set.
Um, not trying to be all like my whole pre-release, but I keep seeing things that were kind of interesting. And there was another, again, saw a lot of green, a popular green rare that just kept showing. You know how there's always that one card that everybody seems to get.
Yeah.
Um, Look at, you know what? I'm gonna let somebody else read this one because it's a trip. Look at Mist Breath Elder.
All right, Mike, you want to read it or should I?
Um, is that blue? No,
Never mind, I got it.
It's in green.
So
and green.
it's a frog warrior for a single green mana. It's a 2/2 for one
Yes.
in green, and it's rare. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. Oh yeah, I saw this in the Discord. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Mistbreath Elder. Otherwise, you may return Mistbreath Elder to its owner's hand. So it's already a 2/2 for one, and then you can bounce other stuff. But if you don't
You
have other
have
stuff,
to.
yeah, if you uh well, you have to bounce other stuff. But if you
Yeah.
don't have
That
other
for
stuff, you don't have to bounce the Mistbreath Elder, which I really like.
you can if you want, which you
Yeah.
might go, huh? But if you haven't built up a lot of counters on it, you can use that to do a lot of the excuse me, do a lot of the frog like enter sort of triggers. But yeah, some people I played with were like, "Well, I don't want to bounce this other creature." I'm like, "It's not a May ability." So, playing it on turn 1 feels good most of the time, but there are times where it's hard to make anything else stick on your field, so it can be
Yeah.
a mixed blessing.
And a 2/2 for one is really great on turn one and possibly
Yeah.
turn two. And after that, it's going to start getting outclassed quickly.
Yeah. But it was just funny because there was a game where my opponent was like, "Turn 1 Mist Breath Elder." I'm like, "All right, turn 1 my Mist Breath Elder." And then later I played the artifact and named Frog, so mine was actually a step ahead of his. So, um yeah. But it's confusing. It has words. And you might go, "Well, it's not so bad." But in the moment, especially at the pre-release, it was a lot of like, "Wait, what? Wait. Hmm?" Especially since the turn 2 play was always, I don't care, was always 3 Tree Root Weaver. 3 Tree Root Weaver is just an awesome common for 1 and a green. It's a Mole Druid. It's a 1/3 and you tap it for 1 mana of any color. At common, fixes all your mana. The only downside is that there's no mole support. I will say, they were doing a drawing and they said, all right, before once you built your deck before the first round, and they gave everybody a sheet of paper with the top with the 10 creature types that get the most support in the set, and you just wrote down how many of each you were playing and turned it back in, and they just had a raffle just to see like how many people were playing squirrels or whatever. And I had 5 frogs and 3 bats and then one of everything else. I was not adhering to one particular thing, but also keep in mind I was at 4 colors. But the mole druid was great and was such a good 2 drop. But when you're bouncing it for your frog, you're not really getting everything out of it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, not so much. Although, if you had the 3 tree scribe as your 2 drop, that would be pretty sweet.
that's great. That's great. I had one in my deck, and there was one point where I was bouncing the scribe for the misty guy, mist breath elder, and it was just as good as it sounds.
Good, because it sounds ridiculous. For 1 and a green, it's an uncommon 2/3 frog druid that said when it or another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you bounce it with the Mistbreath Elder and probably give him 2 counters instead of 1.
Correct. Or you can give the elder the one from his own ability and throw the other counter on something
Yeah,
else
literally
if you have
anything
something.
else, and it's still good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that was it. I won that game.
Yeah, I bet. Huh. So, do we wanna talk about this 2 card combo thing here?
What's the 2 card combo? Other than
Okay.
other than hugs and glarb.
It was a 2 card combo with involving Starfall Invocation, that wrath that we talked about earlier. So what it
Okay.
is that there's so the specific creature that Chifuji gave as part of the combo is Naru Meha, Master Wizard, and she was originally from Dominaria as a mythic, and she got reprinted in a commander set. But so she costs 4 and has flash, and when she enters, you copy target instant or sorcery spell you control and can choose new targets for the copy. So what it is that you have to cast Starfall Invocation first, then flash in Narumeha and make a copy of it, and then you can just keep gifting cards. And,
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Mhm.
And you can't refuse a gift, can you? You can't be like, "No, I'm good. I don't want your stinky fish."
Yeah, no. So for 2 cards and 9 mana, you can make your opponent draw out and lose on the spot.
Yeah,
Nice.
because wait. Oh, okay. So you cast Starfall Invocation.
Yes.
You flash out Narumeha. You copy the Starfall Invocation. So now you have
Yes.
2 Starfall Invocations. The first one resolves. Your opponent draws a card. All the creatures, including Narumeha, die. And then Narumeha comes back. There's still another Starfall Invocation on the stack
Right.
that she targets. And it just goes on forever of invocation. They draw. She comes back, copies it. Invocation. They draw. She comes back, copy it. Oh, yeah, that's gross. I mean, it
And
does
you're gonna
cost
mill
9
them
mana.
out. You're gonna mill them out, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
drawing is not optional. And when you copy it,
Yeah.
as long as promise to gift with the first one, all of the rest are going to have the gift. So
Yeah.
the
Now
only
you got to do it step by step because yeah, it's possible for them to draw something to get out of it.
yeah, as I say, really the only thing they can do is draw something to disrupt the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if they're tapped out, they're probably just dead.
What would disrupt the loop other than a counterspell?
So Starfall Invocation, it can only reanimate something that it destroyed. So
Oh, so if you shoot the Narumeha before the invocation
yeah,
kills it. Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah,
I don't know. It still feels very much like if you catch them with their shields down, you're just done. You're just done.
Well, yeah.
So,
But that makes sense for a 9 mana combo. So yeah.
yeah. The combo I am most sick of, I was actually on Arena earlier today, and I'm sure Mike has seen this one in Standard as well, on it was literally this guy had done nothing turn one, turn two, turn three, not even blown up some of my stuff. Turn four, he played the demon that when you lose life, when the opponent loses life on your turn, they lose that much again. And then turn five played the black spell to make an opponent lose half their life rounded up.
Yep.
So they had done. Oh, I've seen this several times. I've
Yeah, I've
seen
had
it
that garbage happen
several times.
in Brawl. I'm like, really?
Yeah. And most of the time, at least it's more interactive. This person literally, I've said it, literally did nothing except those two cards. And I just didn't have a kill spell for the demon. I was even like, watch. Because a lot of times they'll use a tutor or something for one of the spells. This time he just did it. So I was, and it had the game had the audacity picked that one random game at the end of it to be like, did you have fun in the match? Smiley face or crying face, and I'm like, what do you think? They knew.
Terrible.
But anyway, that's not about this set, but it is in standard.
I mean, we were on 2 card combos that lose the game, so that works.
Yeah, yeah. Uh huh.
Huh.
Chewy, you see anything else that's really making you go ooh?
Not. There's another Whirl. Good lord. I just saw the Night Whirl
Come on.
Hermit, and my brain went, Night what? I really need to. I really need to grow up, but I'm not gonna.
What do you think of Cruel Claws Heist? It's in black.
Cool, there it is. I think it's a story spotlight.
You are
It is
correct.
the in it is the inciting incident.
All
So
right. Black for a rare sorcery. You can gift a card. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card. All right. Pretty standard one-on-one discard spell. Whatever. If the gift was promised. Oh. If the gift was promised, you may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. Huh.
and yes,
That changes things.
I had the chance to play this in a draft on Arena. Yes, they do. If you gift the card, they do draw the card first, and then
Yeah.
it's one of the cards that you can see.
Yeah.
So
Cause
it's
and it specifies that in the reminder text on every gift thing is
yeah,
if
before
they
its other
do they
effects.
blah,
Yeah,
blah, before its other
yeah,
effects.
right.
Yeah.
So not rocking anybody's world here. It's just it's very very sweet icing on the cake.
Yeah, it gives you like a another one. It denies them a card that you don't want them to have, and two, it's like an extra card in your hand that they can't touch
Yeah,
that you can just cast later whenever you can.
yeah,
Yeah, I love these cards that have the that have extra like they've done so many you know target opponent reveals their hand, you pick blah blah blah, they discard blah blah blah, that it's nice to see a rare one getting a little extra utility that's not just whatever the set is doing.
Mhm.
Oh,
hmm
it's a distress but with this set mechanic, which I mean technically it's got the gift thing, but it's got more than that going on.
yeah. I agree.
Although they do end up coming out even because they draw the card and then you rip one out.
Sure, it's just ironic because it's a little more selection for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
Oh well.
I could also see the situation where uh you play the Cruel Claw heist and you look at their hand and you're like, Okay, it doesn't matter what I take. I'm just dead. Good game. If the opponent's hand is so stacked, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, kudos to you.
I think I'm running out of steam here. Plus, we have been going for 2 hours now.
We have.
Yeah. So, chat. Anything else that you're just desperate to hear our opinions on? And also, you guys, you got anything else that jumps out at you?
I'll defer to chat, but I think I'm good.
Oh, hey, Mom just sent me a text that she just resubbed with Twitch for another month. But it didn't pop up. Mom's so cute. Brambleguard Veteran in Green is great. B. I can spell B. Here we go. Oh, he's another raccoon. All right, what's that do? It's one of you. Mike, I guess? He hasn't said much lately.
Nope. Scrolling down. Let's see. All right, the Brambleguard veteran is... So, for 1 green is a 3/4 uncommon raccoon warrior.
Jesus.
Really good rate. Yeah, very good rate. Whenever you expend 4 raccoons, plural, you control, get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Gosh.
Huh. Yeah, that is pretty great.
Big effect, yeah.
It's a 3/4 for 3, if nothing else. Magic is not the same game it used to be.
No.
You think so, huh?
Like, even if I can be old for a minute, like, even back when creatures were bad, obviously this would never have seen play, but even when we were playing and creatures got a major boost, like, this is insane. But again,
head and shoulders
do what?
improved creatures that we... This is head and shoulders above the improved creatures that we saw.
Yeah. And I'm sure, again, that part of that is because they want to speed up the format to offset the ridiculous amount of food and tokens that can block and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It probably just seems more in this set for that reason. But still, oh my god. All right, then. So, should we call it for the night?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then. Real quick, don't forget, come hang out with us live. We do this on Thursday nights. On the Thursday nights when we're going to do a show, which is hopefully going to be more Thursday nights than it has been lately. See the announcement video / audio thing that went up last week. But also, I stream on Twitch all the time. So you should come hang out. I've been playing. What have I been playing? Okay, admittedly, in the last month, things have been completely insane. But recently, I've streamed Final Fantasy V, which I'm gonna get back to probably tomorrow night. And I did a stream of Balatro, the poker roguelike deck builder that's based on poker. It is so cool. And I tried out the Contra DLC for Vampire Survivors that I bought and then never actually played. Whoops. And that's just, I think that's the 3 most recent non-podcast streams. So, yeah. I got all kinds of things I want to play, though. You guys remember the Ghostbusters game that came out in the 360 era?
I think I heard of it and it sounded cool. I never owned it.
It was essentially Ghostbusters 3 because like all of the original actors and or at least most of the original actors and writers and whatnot were involved, and it's that I'm considering streaming that at some point in the near future, just because I don't think it'll take very long, and it'll be a fun little nostalgia hit. I played it on the 360 back in the day, and I've got the somehow I got the remastered version on Steam. I don't know how, but that's cool. Not for a while. I gotta finish Final Fantasy V before I start branching out too hard, but I might take a break before Final Fantasy VI and play some other stuff that isn't menu based 2D RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
But oh yeah, and hey, today's the first, and of course, because I was trying to get the card image gallery to load earlier, I cleared my cache, so I've been logged out of freaking everything. All right, here we go. So, hey, you can go to patreon.com/themanapool. I'm gonna sneeze. No? Yes? No? Oh my god. Patreon, let's try that again. Patreon.com/themanapool and become a lifeguard. And you can get the odds and ends, the behind the scenes stuff from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes of this show and Monday Night Magic. Remember that? Yeah, if you want to hear Bill and Clue swear, then, there you go. And you can get the sponsorship shout out if you're a Mythic Lifeguard, like these wonderful dorks: Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, Jake Jansons, Michael, Timu Hillis Haru, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Yay.
Nice.
But yeah. By the way, all of the information you could need for how to get in touch with us or how to consume any of my content is on themanapool.com, which is, it's just a link tree, but still. It's themanapool.com. I pay for that, so use it. Yeah. So how about some final thoughts then? We'll start with Dirk because he's probably got to go soon.
Screw that. I'm gonna make Dirk wait for me. So, because I'm tired and I have been having fun with this, but I've just kind of realized how late it is. Went to the pre-release, had a lot of fun, ended up winning a round, losing a round, and tying a round. So 1-1-1. So excellent. Just I said in the text chain, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Thanos was right. So had a good time and played against some people that had been experienced at the game. Played against a guy who had been out of it for a little while, for almost 10 years, and played against a guy who started a week ago but had been playing very hard on Arena and clearly knew his stuff. Shout out to Andy, who says he listens to the show. So, Andy, it was great to see you at Gaming Underground.
Hey,
Hope you're
sweet.
doing well today. Yeah. And with
Wait, is that the person who's only been playing a week?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
that's
Andy's
a different
been playing
person.
for a bit. Yes. But with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and go lie down. So, because I got court in the morning. I'll see you guys around.
Night, B.
Maybe. Good night.
I am around. That was me patting my tummy. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. It probably did. So how about you there, Mr. Beardman?
We got a question in the chat about were any of us able to pick up the Monty Python Secret Lair before it sold out. I wanted to. I saw news about it and I saw images of the cards. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. I would love to have that. When does that go on sale? Okay, word, I'll check it out. So I didn't pick up from what I saw, and I didn't remember reading earlier. I know I read it, but I just didn't remember it because it was a while ago. That was the Coast has decided to move to all limited print run stuff for Secret Layers instead of print to demand. I guess because they just got tired of people whining and it was taking forever to get their stuff. So they decided to address that instead of being able to make all of the sales from something. So whatever. But yeah, so later in the evening, on the day that it went on sale, I was looking at Facebook or whatever after dinner, and there's something from Star City was like, "Oh, Monty Python sells out in under an hour." And I'm like, "What?" And out of curiosity, I looked on eBay, and yep, there it was for like $200 something to get both. And I'm like, nah, no, not this time. They missed my sale, and I'm not going to pay some rando $200 to pick it up. That's just ignorant. So yeah, I was disappointed.
Yay, FOMO marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone was like, hey, Chewie, you like, the Holy Grail? Are you gonna pick it up? And I'm like, one, I'm broke, and two, there are some things that Magic should not sully with its capitalistic nightmare. So, no. I'm opposed to Secret Layers on principle. Especially now that they've gone back to the FOMO method.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
Yeah, when they changed it back in the day, I was like, oh, well, okay, that's probably better then. And yeah, now they've gone back, and I'm like, well, screw those.
Yeah, now I'm not even gonna bother looking at them because I'm just gonna expect that anything I'd actually be interested in is just going to be snapped up. Because when they go on sale is like the middle of the day when I got stuff to do. So,
Yep.
Because this was in the middle of the week, or like on a Tuesday or something.
Yeah,
Maybe Monday, but still, I got stuff to do during the day.
Yeah, unlike some of us here, Mike's got a real job, and by some of us, I mean me. I'm the bum without a real job. Why am I looking at Starfall Invocation? Close that.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah, but it's just zapping puppies here, and it's not on the stream screen. So why the hell am I looking at it? But I think I did my final thought earlier accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, in keeping up with current news, well, in keeping up with current moronic outrage about things that they know nothing about, trans rights are human rights, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, she's not even trans. Like, they're... have you heard about this, Mike?
There's so many things people are whining about.
Yeah, an Olympian, a female Olympian boxer punched another female Olympian boxer real hard, and neither of them are American. And so, all of a sudden, all of the normal, turfy hate group people like, J.K. Rowling and Logan Paul, because they're on the same team now, are complaining that a man is in a ring punching a woman and breaking her lifelong ambition. And I'm like, but she's not trans. But
No.
she's not, traditionally feminine looking. So they're going after her and spreading misinformation. And that's just today.
Why would they think that? Like, the IOC is still like really conservative. Stuff like that.
Apparently, this is an Algerian, I think, boxer. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Roland in the chat said, so boxing working as intended. And I watched the footage. Like, the Italian boxer that she decked just got sloppy. Her form was ass.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if your form is ass in a worldwide boxing thing, yeah, you're going to get laid out. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But apparently, this Algerian boxer has some sort of what did I see on Twitter? A DSD. I don't remember what that means. I'm very sorry, but some sort of genetic thing where she was born a woman and or born female and has identified as a woman all of her life, but she has some sort of genetic something or other that gives her more testosterone.
Oh, kind of like Castor Semenya track.
I have no idea what any of that means, but this is all just coming from watching the people I follow on Twitter react to the hateful idiots on Twitter. And but like Michael Phelps has like freakishly long arms. That's a genetic
Yes. Uh-huh.
like a genetic advantage that other people don't have.
Yeah.
Like
And
some basketball players are just like 15 feet tall. What?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they? Why is that not bad? But this person in a combat sport, by the way, in the 2020 Olympics finished, I think, last or close to it. But this person knocks one person out, and now all of a sudden everyone cares about women's boxing. The right wing outrage machine just drives me up the wall because she's not a man, she's not trans, she's always been a woman, and yet people with millions and millions and millions of followers are just straight up bullying her on social media to farm outrage.
Weird.
J.K. Rowling can go to hell, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
J.K. Rowling has turned into evil incarnate. If she didn't have a nose, she'd be Voldemort. Anyway, sorry for anyone that had to hear that name. I will refrain from saying it in the future. So yeah, that was what kept me rolling my eyes while I was sitting around waiting on orders and whatnot while I was dashing today. It's just like, huh? Who gives a crap about an Algerian boxer punching an Italian boxer? Why is this a problem? Oh, okay. Because they don't have real problems to be mad at, so they got to make some stuff up. Oh, and apparently it's Kamala Harris's fault. So anyway. The whole... never mind. I hate them. I hate them all for just spreading reckless hate for no reason other than because they want to. And they get away with it. Drives me up the wall. Anyway, so on that wonderful note, hug a trans person. Because goodness knows they need it. Ask first. Let's not be weird about this, y'all. So hey, this has been episode 703 of the Manapool. Is that? It was psychic horror, by the way, Mike. Whirl.
Got it.
You sicko. Some people just... It's me. I'm some people. So, yeah, this has been episode 703 of The Mana Pool. Thank you all so very much for joining us. And be sure you read the whole word before you react.